Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The news broke just after dawn, not as a headline but as a barrage of explosions. The world awoke to the thunder of artillery, not the gentle promise of a new day, but the harsh reality of war returning to a region haunted by its past. August 1st, 2025, tensions between Cambodia and Thailand have erupted into open conflict at the Preah Vihear Temple border. What began as a simmering standoff has now boiled over, shattering the uneasy peace that had held for years. Artillery shells streak across the sky, replacing the usual sounds of temple bells with chaos and fear. The ancient stones of Preah Vihear tremble as modern weapons tear through the morning air, sending shockwaves through both nations. This is no drill or minor skirmish. History is repeating itself with deadly force. Decades-old wounds are reopened, and the ghosts of past conflicts seem to march alongside the soldiers. The world watches as two nations stand on the brink. Newsrooms buzz with urgency, and leaders across the globe scramble to understand the gravity of what is unfolding. Initial reports are chaotic, intense fighting, trenches scarred by years of hostility, and heavy machine gun fire exchanged. The border, already tense, has become a battlefield echoing with the sounds of war. Mortar rounds hit military outposts and nearby villages, echoing for miles, a terrifying soundtrack for civilians. Families flee their homes, clutching what little they can carry, as smoke blots out the sun. The escalation was sudden, the trigger lost in a fog of accusations. Confusion reigns, with both sides blaming the other for the first shot, and the truth obscured by the chaos of battle. The border is on fire, and the conflict is about more than territory. It's about national pride and historical legacy. Each side sees itself as the rightful guardian of the land, unwilling to yield an inch. The Preah Vihear Temple, a Khmer monument perched on a cliff, is the heart of this dispute. Its ancient stones have witnessed centuries of struggle, and now, once again, it stands at the center of a storm. For Cambodia, it's a symbol of their past. For Thailand, a piece of heritage lost to colonial-era maps. The lines drawn by outsiders long ago now fuel the flames of modern conflict. Soldiers defend not just soil, but their nation's soul. Each face tells a story of fear, determination, and the heavy burden of history. The situation is volatile. Every explosion raises the stakes. With each passing hour, the risk of escalation grows, threatening to draw in the wider region. Military commanders make urgent calls, politicians deliver fiery speeches, and the international community scrambles to respond. The United Nations convenes emergency meetings, but solutions seem distant as the violence intensifies. This is not another brief flare-up. The intensity and rhetoric suggest something far more dangerous. The night is lit by gunfire, and the world wonders if dawn will bring peace or further bloodshed. The guns of August have returned to Southeast Asia, a deafening warning of chaos to come. The echoes of conflict ripple far beyond the border, threatening to destabilize the entire region. The world holds its breath as the border burns. Families separated by war pray for safety and hope for an end to the violence. The fate of a region hangs in the balance. As night falls, uncertainty reigns, and the world waits for what comes next. From a distance, the border appears as a scene of controlled chaos. Thick smoke billows into the sky, artillery thunders in the background, and anxious soldiers move through the haze, their faces set with determination and fear. Thai troops patrol the dense, tangled jungle, weapons at the ready, eyes constantly scanning the undergrowth for any sign of Cambodian forces. Every step is cautious, every shadow a potential threat. Many of these soldiers are barely out of their teens, thrust into a conflict that began long before they were born. The weight of history and expectation sits heavily on their young shoulders. They check and recheck their ammunition, reinforce sandbags, and brace themselves for the next command or the sudden whistle of incoming shells. Every moment is spent preparing for what might come next. On the Cambodian side, the tension is identical. Soldiers stand guard, gripping their rifles tightly, defending what they see as a sacred duty and a matter of national pride. Commanders address their troops, reminding them of past sacrifices, the blood already spilled, and the ancient temple's deep importance to their people and culture. The landscape itself is unforgiving: dense jungle, jagged rocky escarpments, and the ever-present danger of hidden landmines. Every movement is a risk, every path potentially deadly. The area around the temple is now deserted. Markets that once bustled with life stand empty, homes are scarred by shrapnel, and a schoolhouse lies shattered, echoing with memories of laughter now silenced by war. What was once a place of pilgrimage and community has become a militarized no-man's land, marked by barbed wire and abandoned buildings, haunted by the absence of those who once lived here. In rare moments of quiet, soldiers share cigarettes, their faces illuminated by the glow, while radios crackle with grim updates and rumors of what's happening just beyond their lines. Every distant explosion or burst of gunfire brings a flinch. The strain is etched into their faces, a constant reminder of the danger that never truly fades. At any moment a command could send them charging into battle, or a shell could end their lives in an instant. The tension is relentless, the stakes impossibly high. This is a war of nerves as much as bullets, a test of endurance and mental strength as soldiers grapple with fear, exhaustion, and uncertainty. The front line is a place of anxious waiting, where time stretches endlessly, shattered in an instant by moments of terror and chaos. Here, every heartbeat is a reminder of how quickly everything can change. To understand this conflict, you must understand Preah Vihear Temple. It's not just ancient ruins, it's a Khmer masterpiece, a spiritual sanctuary, and a national symbol. Perched atop a cliff, the temple links Cambodians to their empire's glory. For Thailand, the connection is complex. Many see it as shared heritage, lost to colonial-era decisions. The temple's location makes it a fortress and a strategic prize, with access easier from the Thai side. Soldiers from both nations are stationed meters apart, each claiming sovereignty over the same ground. Preah Vihear is a prisoner of its geography, caught between two national narratives. For Cambodia, it's survival and sovereignty. For Thailand, a rallying cry for lost prestige. The stones of Preah Vihear speak of pride, pain, and identity. This is a battle over history itself. The true tragedy is measured in shattered lives, not territory. It is the human cost that defines the depth of this conflict. Families flee with what they can carry, faces marked by terror and confusion. Each step forward is a step away from the life they once knew. A mother clutches her child, an elderly farmer stares at his smoke-shrouded village, uncertain if he'll ever return. Memories of home linger painfully in their hearts. The border's economic life has collapsed. Markets empty, farmers ruined, tourism vanished. The once bustling streets now echo with silence. Hotels and restaurants are closed, tour guides are jobless. The vibrant culture that once attracted visitors is now a distant memory. The conflict has severed economic lifelines, replacing cooperation with suspicion. Trust, once the foundation of trade, is now a casualty of war. For soldiers, the cost is immediate. Constant threat, psychological toll, and the pain of seeing comrades fall. Their bravery is tested daily. They are instruments and victims of national policy, bearing the consequences of failed diplomacy. Their sacrifices often go unnoticed. In makeshift evacuation centers, displaced families huddle, children learning the sounds of war instead of lessons. Their innocence is overshadowed by fear. Community is strong, but uncertainty is stronger. Yet, amidst the chaos, resilience shines through. No one knows when they can go home, or what will be left. The future is a question mark hanging over their heads. Their lives are suspended by a conflict they did not start. Dreams are paused, waiting for peace to resume them. This conflict's roots run deep, nourished by empires and colonial lines. The Khmer Empire's golden age set the stage, its temples testaments to power and devotion. Rivalry with Siam, now Thailand, created a tapestry of shared culture and animosity. Colonial-era treaties, especially the 1907 French map, placed Preah Vihear in Cambodia. For Thailand, the map is a symbol of colonial betrayal. For Cambodia, it's legal proof. This disagreement over a century-old line has festered, erupting into violence time and again. The ghosts of colonialism still haunt this border. When diplomacy failed, both nations turned to international law. In 1962, the International Court of Justice ruled Preah Vihear belonged to Cambodia, citing Thailand's long acceptance of the French map. Cambodia celebrated. Thailand protested, forced to withdraw troops amid nationalist outrage. But the ruling left the surrounding land's status unclear. Cambodia owned the temple, Thailand controlled the main access. This ambiguity fueled every clash since. In 2013, the court clarified, the entire promontory is Cambodian, both sides must withdraw troops. Yet, the border remains undemarcated and the dispute unresolved. The court's gavel brought a verdict, not peace. The legal battle continues to shape the conflict. The temple's fate is still contested ground. This conflict is waged not just with artillery, but with politics and propaganda. In both countries, Preah Vihear is a tool for politicians to rally support and distract from domestic issues. Fiery rhetoric and one-sided media coverage inflame nationalist sentiment, making compromise nearly impossible. Social media amplifies misinformation, deepening mistrust. For Cambodia, defending Preah Vihear is about national pride and resilience. In Thailand, powerful nationalist groups use the dispute to challenge governments and restore perceived lost honor. This toxic cycle of politics and pride locks both sides into confrontation. Soldiers become pawns in a larger game of power and identity. The fighting at Preah Vihear sends shockwaves through Southeast Asia and beyond. ASEAN, bound by non-interference and consensus, struggles to mediate between its own members. Its credibility is on the line as the conflict exposes the limits of regional unity. ASEAN's calls for restraint have had limited effect. The region watches anxiously. China, a key ally and backer of Cambodia, looms large. Its support emboldens Phnom Penh. The US and Western powers allied with Thailand seek stability but must tread carefully. The risk this border dispute could become a proxy for larger geopolitical rivalries. The international community calls for peace, but the path is fraught. The fate of this land is tied to the grand chessboard of Asian geopolitics. Regional stability hangs in the balance. Despite fierce fighting, a full-scale war remains unlikely. Neither nation can afford it. The economic fallout would devastate both, whose economies are deeply intertwined. The real danger is accidental escalation. A stray shell or miscalculation could ignite a wider conflict. Nationalist pride and military buildup make backing down difficult. Diplomats fear a small spark could trigger uncontrollable chaos. The path to peace is narrow but possible. An immediate ceasefire, monitored by a neutral party, and a return to negotiations. Political courage is needed to rise above domestic pressures. A shared solution, perhaps a jointly managed heritage park, could transform conflict into cooperation. Both sides could claim victory and preserve honor. The cycle of violence can be broken if Cambodia and Thailand choose to look forward together. The future of Preah Vihear should be one of prayer, not war.